Travis Bacon from Contracult, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
This is 70,000 Tons of Metal, the original, the world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, 1 cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets. It's like having an all-access backstage pass. January 29th to February 2nd, 2026. From Miami, Florida to Nassau, the Bahamas, and back. 70,000 tons of metal. What are you doing next winter?
There's my partner, Justine.
Hi,
Hi.
Justine.
Hi, Travis.
How you
Where are
doing?
you at geographically in the world right now?
Los Angeles, California.
Is that home base for you, or are you out on tour?
No, it's home base.
Cool. So I guess we'll just jump right in. And like I said, I'm sort of flying by the seat of my pants, but we'll make it work and it'll work really well. Nobody will know the difference. For those not familiar, can you tell us a little bit about maybe like the 2-sentence elevator pitch?
Sure. We are a Los Angeles-based industrial metal band, and our primary philosophy we stand by is the concept of keeping goth hard. And when I say that, I'm not necessarily only referring to like sonically or genre-wise, although, you know, our band does lean heavily into that tendency, but just sort of the delivery and the care of showcasing goth music and goth culture as something that is still that is still in opposition of the oppressive normative values that we're forced to be conditioned to as a society.
Okay. So I'm going to be honest, when I think of goth, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like the Cure, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert Smith, is that kind of where your roots began?
I mean, to a degree, like I think I still think I mean I would hold the Cure as being an influence on me, maybe even beyond that, something like Depeche Mode as something way more tried and true to me. I mean, I would say maybe we don't necessarily sonically sound like Depeche Mode, but you know, we still kind of filter in some of the similar like pop writing styles and just song structures of that process. And we like hooks and catchy songs and stuff that's not necessarily always present within like our little subgenre of goth industrial goth industrial and primarily like metal industrial.
Okay. So I'm going to give Justine the floor here in a second, but you mentioned, you know, outside of the normative sort of thing, is there like a message or something you want your fans to take away from after listening to a contraculture record, song, release, or even leaving a show?
Yeah, let your freak flag fly and be proud of it.
I love that. That is absolutely fantastic. And I think it's really needed in this sort of day and age we're in as well, right? I mean, just to
I
be
agree.
yourself and be.
100%. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, you know, I think almost more than ever, like our communities are under direct attack. And, you know, this isn't just we're not in a situation where we have the luxury of the ideology of keeping politics out of music and everything when we're up against some fascists that don't want our culture to exist anymore. And, you know, as people that are threatened, you know, just for the subcultures, it's like that just shows you how much many other, you know, the majority of marginalized people are under attack right now.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility then to get that message off or to your fans?
Yeah, I do. I think so. And I think that anybody in, and I think people that are in positions even beyond me need to collectively wake up and understand what's going on and try to use their voices to make some kind of impact or change that's different because it it's easy to feel that you're so small in that sort of equation, but I think we kind of lose sight of the power of art. I mean, it's not going to, you know, end famine and genocide, but it can at
Start
least
the
start to,
conversation.
yeah, start the conversation and bring by some kind of change, or maybe, or maybe it works to at least try to protect like your own spaces. If it's the same concept of like acting locally, thinking globally.
Fair enough. Justine?
I think that can apply to a music like a music culture as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I know I just said Justine, but now you've got me going again. I think that music has always had that sort of like from the 60s, that sort of counterculture sort of thing, right? Always spoken out against whatever it was, suffrage, women's rights, African American rights, whatever. It was always music was at the forefront of a lot of that. And it
Mhm.
sort of holds like a mirror, I think, back to society and says, hey, here's where you're at.
Yeah. Yes, and I completely agree with that.
Okay. Sorry, Justine.
No, but just to continue because of how much you're talking about movement and like what you really stand for, who is an artist music-wise or just someone that inspires you? Like who is inspiring you when you were first like establishing and creating your sound?
Um, I think I think musically, definitely Nine Inch Nails, Skinny Puppy, Frontline Assembly, Depeche Mode, who I mentioned before, a lot on the writing styles and everything involved with that. And then I think people who and any artist that was able to push boundaries either within the space they were in or occupy space in a different way, regardless of whether or not the space made room for them. Like I think of somebody like Rob
Manson.
Halford, who existed in what is seemingly known as like a really like heteronormative male dominated genre and basically like made all these knuckleheads worship a leather daddy. Like I'm really inspired by concepts and artists like that. And then, beyond even through my own genres like um Sly Stone, um, even early Bob Dylan. Yeah. That's just any artist that just was not that was willing to push back whatever whatever's kind of in their way at that time.
I know you mentioned knuckleheads, and I agree with you to some extent, but I also think that the metal community, more so than a lot of other communities, is quite accepting. I mean, I've been in this for 40 years as well, and yes, he's openly gay or whatever, and I think maybe there were some people in the beginning that were
Mm.
shocked, but he is still the godfather and still like super respected amongst all metalheads, I believe.
No, I definitely agree with you. I don't think there was, and I use that term. I use that term like with a grain of salt and a little bit tongue in cheek, and just
There
like,
are those people, I
of course,
100%, but I
yeah,
think on a grand scale, metal is a lot more accepting than people give it credit for.
I agree with you actually, and I even think in that situation specifically, like, I think from my experience, like the majority of the fans were, just kind of they didn't care
Yeah, who gives a
because the
fuck?
art
Just
was
play
there. Yeah,
because you're the
yeah.
best.
Yeah. No, and I do agree with that. I think in addition to that, it's like it's unique in the sense that as long as there's kind of, for most people, there's sort of this mentality of like, if you're a metalhead, you're one of us. And it's like, and I think unlike other genres that sort of that purposely subjugate people, like I think it is like one of the most um, like linear
Yes,
genres
I
in that way.
100% agree. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to disagree with you, but I think, on a
Oh,
whole, I think
okay.
there are knuckleheads in every subgenre in every part of the world. But I
Yeah.
think as a whole, I think, metalheads are much more tolerant and accepting of everyone.
Yeah. I agree.
Justine, sorry, I keep talking.
No, it's a completely fine. My next question would be, it's more of a fun one because I always like to use pop culture references and be like, hey, this would be amazing for you if you like this kind of stuff. But
Mm.
if you could describe your music as a movie or movie your music would be on the score of, what movie would it be?
The Crow would be number
Oh,
one.
oh,
Yes.
cool.
Um,
Amazing choice.
maybe I'd go with something kind of, I mean, Queen of the Damned's an easy one too. And then I might go somewhere in like early 2000s horror action, like these, like something in the sense of something like Resident Evil or Saw.
You listed like all of my top favorite movies, especially Queen of the Damned, because that just is certain aesthetic. But I know exactly what kind of music I'm going to go into just based off of that. So thank you. That was amazing. Those are great choices, great choices. Of course.
So
Ye-
Fear Factory, opening for Fear Factory, huh?
Yeah.
That's a good gig.
Yeah, yeah. It should be. I'm really looking forward to that. Our band started in New York originally,
Right.
so and we've only gone back to do one show, which was only a few months ago, and it went well, but I think this will be better.
I've
And
not actually seen Fear Factory since Burton left, so I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to expect anymore. But I imagine with Dino still, they're gonna still be kicking ass, right?
it's pretty good. We did a festival with them 2 years ago, that Metal Injection put out here, or close to here in Anaheim, California. And yeah, the new vocalist they have, I can't remember his name, is really bringing it.
Yeah.
He does really well for the band. He sounds great on his own, and then he really channels like the Burton parts in a very fluid and smooth way.
Yeah. Fair enough. Are you planning on taking this out on the road?
I'd love to. We haven't really had the opportunity. We've tried to get, anything from like month-long tours to a couple weekends here and there together, and it's been a little difficult in our space.
I think the whole touring industry in general, though, right?
Yeah, the whole touring industry in general, but uh, uh as someone who came from like, grew up more touring and existing in like anything from like death metal to hardcore bands, I don't really think metal industrial hones a great space for like developing bands in that way. Like a lot of these bands want to take Bion bands on the road, and they want to take bands that are willing to pay so they can ride in a bus the whole time. And I don't really roll like that. So I think that's kind of kept us off of a lot of tours. And yeah, it's just there's just not really a lot out there for developing metal industrial bands in that space.
So where do you see it going then? I mean, how do you break this? How do you stand above the noise?
We just try to keep releasing music and content and playing locally where we can. Occasionally, if we get opportunities to, fly out and do this show, or we did Dark Forest Festival last year with a bunch of bands, we'll do it.
It has
And
to make sense.
yeah, yeah. I think if the right opportunity or demand comes around to do something, then I'd love to do it. And maybe we'll find that touring collaborator that wants to, wants to help break a band a little bit and also give them a comfortable experience or somewhat of a comfortable experience on the road, and we can take it from there. But until then, we're just gonna release music and do stuff while we can. We all have other creative projects and
Right.
jobs anyway, so this is
Wait, you mean there's not millions in metal?
not yet. For some, there is.
Not generally, yeah. Right. Justine, sorry, I know I'm hogging the mic here. What do you got?
I can definitely see you guys. You just have to find like niche spaces. And I think like there's a club like Basement. Basically, it's like you have to know who's playing the music that time. It's a strictly just come, enjoy the vibes, enjoy the music, get off your phone, like the German style clubbing where it's just like you're on your phone, get out. Oh, you want to get in? Who's playing? Do you have a ticket? And so it's like, I definitely see that because people stay in that club until 7 a.m. And so just get a large discography, book that, play music, and it's definitely just like being in that niche space. And if someone has, yo, this amazing band play this one night, they're playing again, let's go. Then more and more people, or even Market Hotel, which is a little bit more small, but they always have dedicated nights. It's just about finding like that space. And those two places I think are probably best for your music to blossom, most definitely. Because if you can get one person in an alternative space, you can almost entirely get everyone else as well. You just have to have people that are willing to listen to different things instead of just judging it based off of like, that's not really for me. But literally those two places where people actually just like, no, I come to listen to music and I want to have a good time. Those definitely I can see you work like going there and it being amazing.
Yeah, those are good clubs. I like those two places. Uh, yeah, that's good thoughts, advice. Thanks.
What's next for Contra culture? Aside
Contractual.
20th, right? You got the Fear
Um,
Factory.
we have the Fear Factory show. We're doing another show in November that hasn't been announced yet. At a club out here called Bar Sinister. And then we have a single coming out before that. And then we're hoping to drop an EP probably spring of 2026.
Are you one of those bands that's always writing then?
We try to. It's not as fluid as it used to be. I mean, partially my main collaborator and I don't live in the same state or city anymore. And we have to do most things remotely unless we can tie it into a show or something. So it's a little more few and far between. I also I work as a producer and a film composer as a
Oh,
full-time
right.
anyway. So I'm always in the studio, I'm always creating, and I'm so blessed to have that experience, and sometimes pulls you away from your own music a little bit.
So if fans want to find Contra Cult Collective, how can they do so?
It's Contra Cult Collective on Spotify, Contra Cult Official on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And well, oh wait, no, we did delete our X account. Excuse me. Notes. That's what I meant. Notes.
Is that
Contra.
another? I don't even know what Notes is. That's another one?
It's a meta one. Yeah.
No. Okay.
It'll be worthless in a few months. Um, yeah. But yeah, YouTube, Spotify, Contracult Collective, Contracult Official on Instagram and TikTok. Good notes.
Fair enough. Justine, you have any last words?
No, it was amazing talking to you, Travis. This is great.
You
Thank you.
too. Thank you.